So my name's Kevin Arnold. I'm an equity partner of Gardner & Theobald. We're quantity surveyors and project managers predominantly. I've been in the firm since 2003, which has gone very quickly. I run a team of commercial surveyors dealing with all sorts of sector type workload. Prior to that, I was an equity partner of a competitor firm where I was managing director. I chose the profession, I guess like many people, not because I had some epiphany in my life, but because I knew people, a family member particularly, who had a firm in Cambridge where I was brought up. So it was easy for me to get some work experience with him for a summer holiday. What I did know certainly is that I liked buildings and architecture and putting things together and seeing how those building blocks made for some fantastic buildings in the built environment. I joined a very progressive practice when I graduated in any case, which I guess we would say was one of the leading firms who had embraced the technology of that day, albeit that the machinery looked very different. I remember the first laptop in the office being the size of a large sort of archive box, so not very portable at all. But at least I was part of the generation, the first I guess, in the late 80s that were using the technology, particularly of spreadsheets, in delivering our role. And of course now it's a lot more automated with the establishment of BIM and other technologies that allow for automated measurements and digital measuring and that sort of thing. In terms of the challenges that face the profession, I think the largest one continues to be the talent pool. And certainly people are coming into the profession in adequate numbers, and particularly now from the whole apprenticeship programme that the government's launched, which is a very encouraging thing. So we're now getting people joining the firm at age 16 instead of doing A-levels, and having done A-levels we're getting a new joiner workforce at 18, and then we sponsor those people through to become qualified as apprentices, which is a good thing. I think the institutions where people go and do full-time degrees in the profession of quantity surveying still occasionally disappoint us when those people arrive, not because they lack the what I sometimes call the super technical skills of being highly personable people with good skills in terms of presentation skills and that sort of thing, but particularly seem to be lacking the sort of fundamentals of what a quantity surveyor should know in his formative time in the profession. So I think as a large organisation, we now take the responsibility upon ourselves to do the training, even if those people joining the firm are graduates in quantity surveying. So thinking about the skills that you need to be a successful quantity surveyor, or project manager for that matter, I think certainly there is a base level of technical skills, but through your learning that gets you to the point of employment and the learning that goes on in employment, those technical skills should just be something that just comes, and qualification should be a realistic expectation of most people joining the profession. I think what really makes the difference though is those super technical skills, the things that are about personal characteristics and attributes, the ability to be assertive when necessary, empathetic when necessary, and of course those things that just help to be successful in any profession: drive and enthusiasm and energy. So I often do a little course for our new intake of next generation people annually, which is all about helping them to think about, for the first time in many cases, their personal brand and what that might mean in the workplace to be the underlying thing in their career journey for the next 2 decades. Certainly though, I'd also become known for something, a specialism perhaps, or a sector expertise, something that you can call your own and that will help you to define yourself amongst a workforce where one has to be realistic. It's a competitive environment and you should be doing all you can to be ahead of the pack and the peer group that you find yourself in. Making a network, that is probably the fundamental reason that I'm lucky enough to be an equity partner of G&T. I've spent my 30s and 40s particularly becoming known in the industry, hopefully for the right reason, but certainly because I've invested time that is difficult to find for all of us in our busy lives, but getting on the cocktail circuit, entertaining clients and fellow professionals, sharing knowledge through that process to form relationships that mean even in a downturn market, the telephone still rings with an inquiry. So those sort of business friendships are certainly a fundamental part of why I'm here as an equity partner of G&T today. I absolutely love my job, but I am the luckiest man in the profession, probably, or certainly fortunate. I found that I've taken some opportunities when they presented themselves through my career, and haven't looked back because of those good decisions. So being thoughtful but looking out opportunistically for those opportunities has certainly been of great value to me. It's meant that I now have a job which has a high level of autonomy to it. It hasn't always been that way, of course, because as you make your way in the profession, there are times when you are constrained by project parameters and workload and by the direction of your senior colleagues who are helping you make your way. But having reached where I've reached, the variety in my role is something that I absolutely love. No day is the same as another, which is fantastic. But also I'm still meeting the most interesting people at still those two spectrums, the chief executive of organisations, but also at trade contractor level and everyone in between. So that for me is the thing that really drives me, and I guess is why I love this profession so much.